Good morning. I'm Bill Ritchie, and I'm here in my mini art gallery in Seattle, and today I'm a busy man getting this press ready for an owner here in Bainbridge Island, not far from Seattle, with this galleon. But today I have to test a press that's going to Brazil. This is Frigate number 6, going to Brazil, to Sicilia. But before I start, I decided to finish a plate to some extent that I started quite a long time ago, because it has somewhat like a stamp image on it, and Sicilia engraves stamps in Brazil. So I'm going to aquatint this and etch it some more and then print it later on today. Hi, I'm Bill Ritchie, and today I'm getting ready to test frigate number 6, which is going to Sicilia in Brazil. So I'm getting my ink ready. I've etched a plate, started a long time ago, and I'm going to print this plate on the frigate press, and I'm going to include it in the shipment. Before I got started today, I got paper ready, and I'm keeping it in this plastic bag. I have 2 sheets of Arches cover, and I have some damp newsprint also. So that's waiting for me. Cecilia also said she was interested in some of my books, and so I'm including 3 of my books that go with the press. A book I called Halfwood Press, The Story, a book I called The Art of Selling Prints, and the book I call Cascades. Cecilia also gets the felt blankets that go with the press. The 3 blankets, the sizing catcher, and the forming blanket, and the pusher blanket. The press also has what's called a press ghost. Built into the hood, a flash memory drive, which connects to a computer with this USB extension cable. I call it Press Ghost because it's like I'm going with the press. It's my ghost going with the press to be the teacher. She'll have access to all my books, things on the internet, links, and that kind of thing. So I'm going to get started printing. As Cecilia knows, intaglio printmaking involves rubbing the ink into the incisions of the plate and the textures, and then wiping the plate off with tarlatan. So I have a bag of tarlatan here. The messy process sometimes. I like to keep my hands clean because I'm going to handle the paper, so I put on some gloves. A little rag for wiping, a piece of mat board chip for applying the ink. This way. And I like to use telephone book pages to help keep things clean. Also, I have a hot plate here. I made a hot plate out of a travel iron, and that becomes my hot plate for warming the ink for wiping the plate. Now I start wiping the plate with the tarlatan. Now I'm going to use the paper and continue wiping. This is the first time this plate has been printed, so it's called the first trial proof. I don't know how it's going to look, which is part of the joy of printmaking. You never know what you're going to get. I might mention too that the design of the plate It looks like a postage stamp a little bit with a little perforation around the edges. I'm very interested in postage stamps and postal art and artist stamps, and I started this plate several years ago, and as it turns out, Cecilia in Brazil is an accomplished stamp engraver, so it makes sense to bring this plate up to a new state. I added aqua tint to it for the black areas, and I'm going to send it to her as a gift. That's far enough with the paper, and now I will switch to the hand wipe. First I'll put some talcum powder out because my hands get too sticky, and very carefully wipe some of the last tone off the plate. I have told Cecilia in some other communications we've had about my story of the Emeralda, and this image here is the ship, the Emeralda, and this image is the stamp of the Halfwood Press. The 99, well, it's backward of course, is because this plate was made for Mini Halfwood Press number 99, as I said several years ago. Okay, that'll do. Just go around the edges a little bit to see if I take off any extra ink from the edges. And then I'll get the paper out. I'm going to put a piece of damp newsprint on the press bed first. The newsprint helps to prevent this plate from slipping. This is a 16 gauge plate, and it helps if the heavier plates are sitting on top of damp newspaper. And that's what the damp newsprint is for. This is Arches Cover, French paper, one of my favorites. The next blanket, felt blanket to go down is the sizing catcher. And then the forming blanket. And finally, the roller blanket, or the pusher felt blanket. I haven't adjusted the pressure on this yet, so now I adjust the pressure. When I'm simply moving the roller up, I use one hand. But when I'm tightening the pressure back down, I use two hands. Then when I tighten it down, I use two hands so that I don't put a lot of stress on the chain. It's a tough chain, a strong chain, but I don't like to use unnecessary force. This press is rack driven, that is there's a rack on the bottom edge of the press bed that drives the press. Now for the convenience of the video camera, I'm going to turn the press around. And it's my practice with a pencil to write down the moment number. The moment number is the date. So this is the year 13. The month is the 10th month, October. The day is the 23rd. And the time by the 24-hour clock is 15:15. 54. So that's the moment number, the moment the print was pulled. There's the print. Not bad for a first trial proof. So now I will print another print for myself, and I'm going to send one of these prints, the better one, to Cecilia. I think that about covers everything. Thank you for watching. I'm Bill Ritchie.